Okay, this is going to begin soon. I just need to update some things here. Okay. Hello. Today we are going to continue about the exercises that we began the last week. So the, this is it. This is going to be really interesting. I was when you are using Git, you need to ignore some files because sometimes, well, when you program, you have some files that you don't want to add them to your repository, in this case, your Git repository. I don't remember how you do this in Visual Source Code or Team Foundation services, but for Git, this is really easy. I was looking for that information. So this is the file that you have that I'm talking about. This is the file that you need to ignore another files is the one with the name .gitignore. Now for this case I'm going to delete it. And well, that was something that we didn't have on our last transmission streaming. So for this case you have, here we are, let 5 exercises there, and here we are. Here is where we have the license and the readme. This is that's this section, and for this I'm going to use .NET new command, and now I'm going to write git ignore. Pretty easy, right? So just enter, and you're going to see here is going to be a new file. Template.git ignore file was created successfully, and you have this. Now what does this means? This means that we are going to have these files, the files with these extensions, rs user suo .user .user os cache and other ones that are going to be ignored. They are not going to be on our Git. Don't forget that we have a repository for this. So the first version included some files because I forgot to include this one. But for the next version, if you get the latest version, you are going to see that you don't have that you don't have that that things. Oh no. Well, that's on our branch that we have right now on. It's not in the main branch. It's in dev uh, slash stage 01. Well, I'm going to include it. Okay. The exercise. Yeah, this is on the. Looking for this. Just give me a second. Aha. I'm adding stage. Adding git git ignore file. Okay. Now we are going to continue with this. I was explaining about the binary operators and the unary operators. So for this case, I have the explanation of this. These are the operators, the binary operators. They need two operands, one on the left, another one on the right. And we have the unary operators. About the unary operators, the information is like it follows. You have a int auto sum equals and 2. Okay, the unary operators are the operators that only need one operand. So for this case, we have the plus plus and we have the less less. So how does this works? You have right now you have console.writeLine doing using unary operators, right? And here you have your variable AutoSum. Now you have writeLine plus plus after using plus plus, and you have just AutoSum, and then we have after using less less. So we are going to write here AutoSum, and you just need to write plus plus, and this is it. The operation that this does is increments by 1 the value that AutoSum has. So for this case, you first print AutoSum with the value of 1, and then the value is changed to 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then you don't, this is the same as doing something like AutoSum equals AutoSum plus 1, but you don't need to write all this down. Okay, so instead of this, you just have to write AutoSum plus plus the same way. We have AutoSum equals AutoSum less 1. This is the same as writing AutoSum less less, but you don't write the equals, the AutoSum less 1. You just here. And now these operators have a trick. And I'm going to talk about the trick after this, but I'm saving. Now clear screen. .NET build. There's uh, sorry, wrong file. 01. Yeah, okay, it was wrong. .NET build. Prepare to restore, and here we are. Now I'm going to execute .NET .NET run. Now we have hello world variables, and this is our previous exercise, and then using unary operators we have the value of 1. This is for AutoSum. Then we perform the AutoSum plus plus. After using plus plus, the value is 2, and then we used AutoSum less less, and this is doing this. Now there's a way to even reduce the amount of the lines that you need to use for this, because this way you execute this line, then you have the AutoSum plus plus increments by 1, and after that line you write this. But there's a way that the the code is able to do this when you are printing this variable, or where you are using. I don't really recommend to do this, but this is how it works. If you don't want to use that, now we are going to do AutoSum equals 20. Okay, then after set to AutoSum using plus plus in the beginning, plus plus AutoSum. Okay, these unary operators, you are able to place them in the beginning or in the end. This is the same as doing, well, it seems to be the same as doing this if you doing do it as a prefix or as a postfix. It seems to be the same, but it's not the same. This is the detail about this. Plus plus is going to be when you have the plus plus at the end, this is going to be executed at the end of the sentence. I mean, you perform here the right line, and then you have AutoSum. It doesn't do anything here, and then it applies the plus plus. Okay, it applies AutoSum plus one. If we place this here in the beginning, we don't have the value of AutoSum, but we have a plus plus. So plus plus AutoSum, this means increase AutoSum by one. I don't care about the value. Increase the value by one. How you are able to notice this? Well, we have set AutoSum here. Then after set to AutoSum, here we are going to have a 20. And then using plus plus in the beginning, in the end. Let's see, you will have this. So here this is going to do, after the AutoSum, you have a 20 using plus plus in the end, AutoSum plus plus. So this is going to use the AutoSum value and provides the value to this console.writeLine. And then after that is being executed, you have your AutoSum increased by one. But after that, the value was provided to this instruction, to the console.writeLine. This method is going to have a 20 here and then a 20 here, and after that was executed, AutoSum is going to be increased by one. This is the reason why I don't recommend this, because some newbies or some developers that don't take care at the code at that moment with full fully focused, they could have several issues. I recommend, if you are going to use it, that you use in this way, isolated of on another lines of code, or use it always at the end or always at the beginning of your code. So when there's a new developer that sees your code, you are going to have someone that says, okay, you always are using the plus plus or the less at the end or at the beginning. So I'm going to have that in mind when I read your code. Usually, almost every developer uses always at the end, but you could have some cases where it's being used at the beginning. There are a few cases, but it's better if you perform this, because that is less confused. So we have this, and then we are going to write console, write line, after the Right line, and we have auto sum. This is the value, and then we have this. We have current value auto sum using plus plus in the beginning, plus plus auto sum. And then we're going to do this clear screen .NET run, and you're going to see how this works. Okay, we have the using unary operators one, after using plus plus 2, and then less less 1, and here we have after set to 20 using plus plus in the end 20. You have the same value because the values are provided here to this string, and this unary operator says, hey, when you end this action, autosum is increased by 1. That's why you have after write line 21, because autosum was incremented at the end of the execution of this line. So here we have the value of 20, the value of 20, and then the value is it's sent to the write line, and then the value is being increased by 1, and then because of 20 plus 1 is 21, you have here after the write line the value of 21. Now if we use it in the beginning, is current value is 21, using plus plus in the beginning, you have immediately the 22. Because why is this? Because you have the current value, autosum is using plus plus in the beginning, so it sees it reads this, and it says, okay, there's a plus plus in the beginning. I don't care about the value. I have here the value of autosum, so provide the value, and then I have here, okay, I have here the value of autosum, and then you have a plus plus. I have to perform I have to increase by 1 this variable, because the plus plus in the beginning means execute this increasing before sending all the value to the line that is requesting for. For this case, autosum is increased by 1, and here we have the value of 21. Okay, you will have the same after the right line. I'm going to I'm going just to place console right line, right line. I'm going to write like this so that we are able to notice what's going on. Okay, the beginning and in the end. Clear screen, .NET run. So for this we have after set to 20 using plus plus in the end 20 after write line 21, and then you have current value 22 using plus plus in the beginning increased by 1, 22, and then we have after the write line 22. The same case is for less decrease unary operator. You have autosum set to 20 using less in the end, so that it means that this value is going to be after set to 20 using less in the end 20, after the write line 19, and then current value 19 using using less in the beginning autosum, so it was 19, now it is 18, and after the write value 18. So here we are, clear screen, .NET run. after set to 20, using less in the end, it's the same 20, same case as the plus plus. After the right line, 19. Current value 19, using less in the beginning, 18. After right line, 18. This is the unary operators. I really recommend that you use them only when you have only when you have only when you have the instruction or the line isolated, when it's not interacted with anything else, because sometimes it happens that a developer gets gets mistake about what's the current value. This is like a tricky trivias for the code, and if you mix the increasing in the beginning or increasing at the end, sometimes it's confusing. But well, such is life. So I'm saving this. Now the next information about this is I'm looking at my book. Um, we have the binary. mm, Okay, we have seen the binary arithmetic operators, plus, less, times, between, and the module. Um, this is something interesting about the between. To understand the divide between and module operator, when applied to integers, you need to think back to primary school. Imagine you have 11 sweets and 3 friends. How how can you divide the sweets between your friends? You can give 3 sweets to each of your friends, and there will be 2 left over. Those 2 sweets are the modulus, also known as the remainder after dividing. If you have 12 sweets, then each friend gets 4 of them, and there are none left over. So the remainder will be 0. So the modulus modulo, it's the remainder of the divide, and the slash sign is for divide. Well, is the result when you are dividing. One is the result, the other one is the remainder. Mhm. And now assignment operators. The assignment operators, well, we have been using already up to now. Uh, this is this is this is the assignment operator is the operator that we know as equals. This one, this, and we have another ways to use it. I mean, I'm going to I'm going to comment this. Using unary operators. Okay, so for here we have, I'm going to comment it. I remember that there's a special key, but I don't remember which one. Let's see. I remember that I have that. Well, there's this trick. I learned this trick. You have on Visual Studio, you have here your cursor and you press Control Alt and arrow down or arrow up, and this means that it's going to duplicate your cursor. So as you see, I have my cursor. I have my cursor here. Control Alt down. Okay, I have all these cursors and I'm able to just write down a comment. That's it. And you are able to use it several times. I mean, press the N, and then if you press the begin, there you go. Okay, now I'm going to do the assignation. You also are able to use this assignation operator in other ways, not only equal and the operation. You will have int operator operand 01 equals 20, and then you have operand plus equals 5. So now what's going on here? Console right line, right line. This operand value. Okay, operand value. Yeah. Operand 01. Now operand 01. And then we have the value here after plus equals 5 colon. What's going on here? Okay, you have operand 01 equals 20. You are assigning this value to operand 01, and then you have operand 01 plus equals. It means this is the same as writing the following one. Operand 01 equals operand 01 plus 5. This is doing some kind of abbreviation or a shortcut as a unary operator, because you have only one assignation, but you have two operations here. You have you are increasing an amount of something, and this something, and well, this is because it's not a unary operator, because you have two operators on this operation. You have the operand 01 and you have another operand here. So for this you have operand 01 plus equals. Equals is perform the sum of operand 01 plus 5 and then assign it to the left side of this operation. So this left side is operand 01. And now and this is the same as doing, okay, I have operand 01, it's equals to operand 01 plus 5. Assign that value to operand 01. So, but this is a shortcut. This is a better way to do this. It works. We have the same thing for the less equal less 3. I'm going to do after less 3 operand 01, and then you are able to mix it with another ones. 2 times and divide. after. So I have I have I have removed some lines. I know that we have not talked about the comments, but we are going to do in the future. Right now, just consider that if you write slash slash in the beginning, the 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 text that continues to these two characters are not going to be considered for the compilation of this project. .NET build run. Let's see. Mhm. Then we have hello world operand value 20 after plus 5 plus equals 5 25. Then we have the less equals 3 25 less 3 22. Then 22 2 times 22 2 times 22 uh, 44, and then we'll divide 44 between 2, and we have 22 again. And this is another way to do the assignation of values for this. um, after the assignment operators, now we have the logical operators. These logical operators operate with on Boolean values. They well, and because of that, they only return true or false. They don't return 0 or 1. They return true or false. It's a special value for in order to know that you are using a binary value. You may consider true or false as 0 or 1, but that's for advanced cases. Right now, we are going to only use it true or false. So for the binary operators, for the binary logical operators, we have ones that we have the following. I'm going to comment this, and I'm going to place here another comment that says operator let me see, assignment operators, assignment operators. Okay, now we have another thing. We are going to declare some values. So bool variable 01, this is true. Then bool variable 02, and this is false. Okay, this is what I mean that you only have true or false. I just need to okay, just need to just write down some messages. Okay. Now we have the bool variables, and for these bool variables, we have the binary operators. Binary operators are and, or, and XOR. This case. Now this case is this one. We are going to do the right line. Okay, well, here's another secret. You have all this time we have used console.writeLine and the sentence that we use here. Okay. For this case, we are going to do and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Variable A and variable B. So here we have A and here we have B. Now, for another things, and one here, one here. So, what's, oh no, what's going on here? I have a trick. These are the namespaces. Right now we are using namespace operate variables, and we are using the same namespace that for string and another okay. I hate this. Okay, so in the case that you want to well, I'm going to explain that later, not right now. So console, but remember me to talk about the static namespaces. Right line, and then we have um, we're going to place it in the same, and now I have to do bool variable a and bool variable a. This means the AND operation is going to be performed a variable a and variable a. What's the value? This is the Boolean operator. This is a AND Boolean operator. And this means if a is true and a is true, then the result is true. On the other hand, if a is true and b is false, it's not going to consider only one true. It needs that everything is true, because that's an AND. A and B are true, not because B is false. So for that case, B is false. But for this column, this is going to be false. So we have A and A. I don't remember how many spaces I use here. So here we go. 2 here, and then the other one. Bool variable A and bool variable B. It doesn't matter if you place a space between the variables or not. I don't have this uppercase. It doesn't matter. You are able to just write down the name of the variable and the other variable. The compilator doesn't care about this. So you have here you have the information, and even you are able to add several spaces. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to clear screen.net run, and what's going to, oh, okay, this is displaying this in the right way, and A variable A is true and variable A is true, true. Variable A is true and variable B is true, not, because variable B is false. So this return the false value. I have to remove around, I don't know how much, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have the same but for B variable. So variable B and variable A and variable A and variable B. For this case, it's going to be false because B is false. We have this. B false and false is false. False and false is false. False, false and true is false. And false is false. So clear screen, .NET run. Okay. Yeah. So this is false. I need to remove another space here. So that now .NET run. Yeah. Now it looks nice. Same. Okay. Now let's see. This is the nth. The other operator is or. Okay. So we have the same. To do a console right line. Right line. Just to have a space here. We have or. And the sign of the OR variable is the pipeline character. We have this one, we have this one, and now this is the example. Clear screen, .NET run. Now we have OR, and the OR works. It doesn't matter if, or it doesn't matter how many true values do you have. If you have at least one true value, then everything is true. So A is equals true and B equals false. A or A, true, because true or true is true. True or false, because we have one true, is true. False or true is true because we have one true, and false or false is false because we don't have any true. This is an easy way to understand it. And means that everything must be a true, or means that at least one value must be true, and then you are going to receive a true value. The other one, the other operator that we have for this is XOR. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's this one, XOR. This is an exclusive OR, and this is doing by Da, 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 da. This, yeah, this funny accent, this guy. For this case, we have for the XOR, you need that one value must be true, but if two values are true, if all values of this operation are true, then the result is going to be false. If both are true, the result is false. If both are false, the result is false. If one of both is true and the other one is false, then the result is going to be true. Okay, so true XOR true is false. This one is going to be false. True XOR false is true. False XOR true true is true because at least one is false and one is true, and false XOR false is false. Let's see. Clear screen. .NET run. .NET run. Okay. XOR true XOR true is false, and false XOR false is false. And this is just because the special operator. Now, when we have these lines, these where we are performing this format, we are able to set up how a special format. Exclusive or well, XOR could be you could pronounce as exclusive or. This is exclusive or because you only need the values false. You don't need true. That's different. Or and there are enough user conditions are full it's wrong and have both. That's I really like one. Clear screen. Okay. So we have that one and this one. These were the binary operators. Well, logical operators and or exclusive or XOR. If you need more information about this, you could have going to in the chat I'm writing up the truth table that you are able to find at Wikipedia. That truth table let you know about what are the conditions for the AND, the OR, and the exclusive OR, so that you will have a better explanation about this, because maybe I have explained it the wrong way. And now we have the logical operators, and we have a similar ones that are the conditional logical operators. The conditional logic operators are very similar to the logical operators, but for this case, we are going to use two symbols instead of one. I mean, this is something, this notation is going to be something like the unary operator, where you have two symbols of plus. So for the and, we are going to use double ampersand, and for the or, we are going to use a double pipeline. Mhm. So this is a basic introduction to this. So this is not exactly that you are going to have, um, that we are going to see the whole examples right now. Just give me some time. I'm looking for a good example for this. Just okay. Okay, the main difference between them. Okay, that there's a big difference. So where we have this, we are going to. I'm going to write up a comment. Pueden prender la tele. Let's see. Slash slash. We have bool variable A and bool variable B. And then this one where logical operators. And then logical operators and conditional logical operators. I have just 10 more minutes, so I expect to complete this. I'm going to create another function, private static um, additional function. This one, it's going to console write line. I'm doing something here. Just give me a minute, a second. Okay. And then return true. This is, I forgot. This is only going to return a bool value, and the bool value is always going to be true. And then we are going that of how I'm going to display, demonstrate the difference between a logic and a conditional. A logical operator is an operator and conditional operator validate, but it's fulfilled exception of the. This is something hard to really understand, because here in the logical operators that we have above, we have a bool variable and you validate, or review the value of A and the value of A, but you validate the value. In some cases, you have a condition that you are able to validate that some method is being executed, and if that method was executed in the right way, then you are going to do a certain condition that is fulfilled, and you are able to continue doing another things. So for this case, I'm going to show you console write line. So first I'm going to do a ampersand additional function equals, and then we have the operation. So here between my curly braces I have a ampersand additional function. Ah, no, the name is not a, is bool variable a. This is it. This is good. Oh, my visual slow. Case we have to do the value, and the value is going to reach the original function. So we are going to know the function is being executed. We have a console line. I'm doing something here, just give me a second. So for this case, it's going to be true and true, well, and executes this line additional function, then returns a true. True and true is true, but but here you're going to see the value, and between lines you are going to see the execution of this thing. And then we have the b additional function bool variable b. So what's going on to be what is it going to do? Let's see. We have this. On both cases, we are going to execute the same situation. You have a and additional function. Then I'm doing something here. Just give me a second. And here you have the value true, because true and true is true. Then I'm doing something here. Give me a second. And we have the same. False and true equals false. Now let's see what happens. I'm going to just add another console write line. I'm going to write a line, and I'm going to update this value. So for this visual, I'm going to here you to well, the conditional that access the lamp addition going to be to what's going to happen here. The conditional logical operators are conditions that if the first condition is enough for the result, then the execution is not going to take place for the next executions. What does that mean? That means that for this case that we have here, a double ampersand additional function, both variable a double ampersand. This means an AND condition needs that the value of both are true. So for that case, it has to evaluate a and a because both must be true. What's going on some cases? Well, you have some cases. If b is false, then there is no way that the ampersand returns a true because the AND operation needs that both values are true. For that case, if b is false, then you don't need to validate this one because it's enough. We have a false value. There's no way to return a true value. Return false, and it doesn't happen here. This one validates both. It validates you have a true value, and I need to validate the other one. And I don't care. I need to validate both because I'm operator. And this one is not exactly an operator. It's a conditional operator because it has a condition. It has the condition that if there is something that doesn't comply in the beginning, then it must not continue executing the other lines. You are going to see this example right now. .NET run. Well, first clear screen, then .NET run, and we have here. I'm doing something here. A and a function equals true, and it was executed this method because we see this line. Then we see another again, this line again, b and additional function, and it's false. But then I have the ampersand. It's executed only once. Yeah, you have here, and then you have a double ampersand additional function equals true because it's a. Okay, this is true, and I need to validate this one because the first one was true, and I need both to be true. Okay, let's see. And I see here, and then true. I executed this line, and then get back with the result that that's a true, and then true, and true is true. And then for this one, b is false. Okay, b is false. I don't need to validate anything else. So additional function is not being executed here. And this is really important because when you have an application where you need to know that some cases are going to be executed and another ones that don't. So if you want that everything is executed and that execution returns you are true or false value, logical operator, but you don't reach one condition that you need to uh, with the skip this step you need to use a condition operator. This is curious because and this you will so you use the literacy conditional logical and have usually on on several programs that you will see the conditional logical operator because this is very common and some developers forget that there is a difference, a slight difference, and is this one of the execution. They only need to remember, okay, this is going to validate a and true and true, or true and false, true or false, and they forget for this case. I'm going to show you this for the or. Maybe the bigger strange part is for the or because the or top pipeline is going to have a similar condition because or you only need one true. This is going to happen backwards. .NET run. Here we have this is the ampersand true, and then we have here the first one is validated, but the second one doesn't because B is false. And then we have the OR. I'm doing some here, just give me a second. A or, and I'm doing some cases, B or additional function equals true. Both cases were executed. But for the first one, for the logical operator OR, we have A, and A is true. And because the OR only needs one true, you don't need to continue the execution of anything else. So for this case, and this is this is a really strange situation, because you will have I need to validate if this one's true or this one is true, and in your mind you will have a special consideration that both codes are going to be executed, and that's not the case. You are seeing here, we don't have this line, the I'm doing something here, just give me a second, because it's not being executed. True, well, the true condition has been validated here, and you have, okay, I only need one, I don't need anything else, so this one is not going to be executed, and this one is not being executed. It doesn't happen for the other case because we have a false, and OR only needs one true. Because we don't have that true, it needs to validate the additional function, and that additional function is being executed and then sending the true value. So this is the case for this. I think this is okay. Okay, so the next time we are going to see the another binary operators, but more deeper. The next ones are going to be the binary operators to shift values. I know that this sounds weird, but you have a value into an integer, and I'm going to need to prepare a really good explanation about this. But you have a value, and this value you are going to shift the 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 binary values, the zeros and the one of that variable. So that's going to be a little bit hard to explain this, because we are going to be to talk about moving positions. So well, that's going to be what we are going to see in the next our in our next streaming binary shift operators. Okay, so I'm really glad that you joined this streaming. I'm going to continue with these examples. If you have questions about Azure, if you have questions about how to use .NET on another situations or another cases, I'm open up to questions. I can consider that for future cases. I expect that I'm going to be able to build a system to create something complex on Azure that sends emails, validates the the phone number of a person, that you have a registration, and that registration is taking the information of the user. It's saved or recorded into uh, into a database, and the database is doing something behind scenes and sending SMS or email messages or anything else. Several things that you see on another cases, on another applications like Facebook, like Twitter, like Twitch. Um, so I'm expect to handle all of that cases, but first I'm go I want to explain you what we have with .NET 5. Don't be shy. Write some comments, write questions, or write some support on the chat, so that I know that you like this content, and I'm able to continue with this. If you have questions, or if I'm doing some explanation really fast, let me know, and I'm going to stop or to get a deeper explanation for that topic. Okay, see you in the next week. Have a nice day. Bye.